You ever notice how the stupidest battles in life start with something tiny like a trash can lid? I swear if anyone ever tells you it's just garbage, they've clearly never lived under an HOA dictatorship, because this whole mess, this suburban showdown started on the dumbest Thursday morning of my life. I'm walking outside, cup of coffee in hand, and my trash bin's got a shiny new lid marked up with some faded initials I don't recognize. At first, I figure whatever, maybe one of the neighbors just got mixed up. Everyone's got the same Black City issued bins on our street. Accidents happen, right? But then a week later, both my bins go missing and get swapped for two ancient, stinky monsters that look like they'd been dug up from a compost graveyard. That's when I started to get this feeling like someone wasn't just confused, they were playing a game. And trust me, it wasn't the kind you want to lose. That same afternoon, I get the HOA email blast subject line, "Improper trash bin usage, all stern and official," written in a tone that could curdle milk. And who's signed at the bottom? Karen Albright, HOA secretary and queen of bold fonts. 2 days later, she shows up at my driveway, arms crossed, like she's about to repo my whole existence, telling me my unauthorized bin modifications are violating Article 7, Section C. I just stare at her, trying to figure out if this is a prank. But nope, she's dead serious, flashing that fake smile and basically announcing, "These aren't yours anymore," before strutting off like she's won a court case. Right then I realized this wasn't about trash, it was about power. The game just got weirder after that. Karen starts installing fake security owls on her garage, but with real camera lenses in the eyes pointing right at my place. I wave at it one day, holding up a sign that says, "Smile Karen." Next thing I know, it's gone, and the next HOA newsletter's ranting about inflammatory gestures towards security devices. Subtle, huh? Meanwhile, every garbage day, my bins keep changing. Sometimes older, sometimes cleaner, never mine. When I email the board to ask if there's some weird bin rotation thing, Karen answers with one of those "we appreciate your vigilance" messages, which is basically HOA for shut up and deal with it. I start working from home more just to keep watch. And then one afternoon, I hear the squeak of wheels, peek out the blinds, and there she is, Karen, in her garden visor and orthopedic sneakers, swapping my bins for the ones from 3 doors down, spritzing them with Febreze and mumbling about neighborhood standards. I step out with my phone recording, and she doesn't even blink, just says, "assisting with bin redistribution," like she's working for the Red Cross. I post the video to our neighborhood Facebook group, and guess what? It's gone within an hour. Turns out Karen's the admin. The very next HOA newsletter warns about unauthorized video recordings of HOA officials, whatever that means, and hints at revocation of community privileges, medieval stuff, and the fines they start rolling in. First, 25 for trip hazards because my bin was supposedly an inch from the curb. She even sent a photo as proof. Then I get dinged for grass being 1.5 inches too tall. Next week, someone warns me Karen once tried to evict a neighbor over a pink flamingo. She called it a visual disruption. She used that phrase a lot. I start messing with her, shifting my bin by 3 inches just to see what happens. Boom, another notice. I slap on a pair of googly eyes, and 2 hours later there's a sternly worded letter taped to my door encouraging juvenile behavior. It's like she's running a military campaign with garbage cans. And then the twist one Friday, my trash isn't picked up. Turns out Karen flagged my bin for contamination, told the garbage man it had paint thinner in it, which is news to me since I don't even own any. That night, as I'm dragging my full bin back up the driveway, my porch light flickers, and I see Karen's silhouette at the end of the block, arms folded, just watching. That's when I finally snap quietly, not with rage, but with this icy determination that settles into your bones. If she wanted to play power games with garbage, fine. I was done playing defense. So I make a plan. I dig around Craigslist, find 2 beat-up bins that look like our HOA issued ones. Buy them for $10 a piece from a guy named Dave who throws in a broken lawn flamingo for chaos. Over the next few nights, I fill both bins halfway with concrete in my garage glue, a fake trash bag sticking out of the top, spray them down with some ode to garbage, paint them to match, even slap on some fake serial numbers for good measure. On the next garbage night, I set the decoys out just slightly misaligned to bait her turn off all the lights and set up a GoPro in the bushes. I don't have to wait long. At exactly 6:17 a.m., Karen shows up marching down the sidewalk in full HOA regalia, latex gloves, determined as ever. She tries to pull the first bin, and it doesn't move. She yanks again, face going from confusion to outright rage. She circles, taps, the side even waves down a passing jogger. Guy gives it a try and says, "Lady, this thing's filled with bricks," or something. She's not done. Calls Dale, the HOA vice treasurer, who looks like he regrets every life choice that got him here. He gives it a tug, shrugs, and says, "Maybe it's full." Karen, flustered, marches up to my door and knocks all stiff and civil. "Your bins appear to be jammed. Would you mind if we inspected them?" I just grin and say, "Well, they're full of trash, but if you want to take them, go ahead." She turns redder than a fire hydrant and stomps off. That photo of her red face ended up a meme, Karen versus Gravity, in the neighborhood group chat. A few nights later, I hear someone try again, but those bins aren't budging. Meanwhile, my real bins are safe in my garage. Now Karen calls an emergency HOA meeting, claims I'm violating bin mobility guidelines. I show up, popcorn in hand. She accuses me of gravity sabotage but has no proof. Dale looks like he's about to laugh. The rest of the board just shakes their heads. Bridget's hold on the community is slipping fast. At the same time, other neighbors start speaking up. Carol talks about Karen moving her potted plants without permission. Tom admits he got fined for inconsistent holiday spirit. Suddenly, it's not just me. Everyone's had enough. But then comes the next twist. While digging through old HOA records, Dale and I find a stack of expenses for community upgrades, thousands of dollars, for things like aesthetic bin reinforcements paid out to some shady vendor. Turns out the vendor is Karen's cousin in Arizona. We bring it up at the next board meeting, and this time there's a new face in the room, Alyssa, an HOA compliance attorney. Alyssa lays it all out, every fake receipt, every bogus payment. Karen tries to talk over her, but by slide 5, she's sweating bullets. By the end, everyone knows. Within a week, the state sends investigators, and Karen's empire finally crumbles. Turns out she's been stashing hazardous waste under her garage, old paint cans, pesticides. The works creating her own little suburban waste bunker. She gets charged, fined, kicked out of the HOA, and loses her house in the fallout. The best part. The neighborhood throws a parade, and our float is a giant trash bin with a golden crown and a sash that says Queen of Compliance. Kids laugh, people wave, and every time we pass Karen's old place, the whole street cheers. Now every Tuesday, folks line up their bins however they want. No more threats, no more pink flamingo drama, just a statue in the park, a real concrete bin, flowers blooming out of the top, a plaque that reads, "For those who stood their ground." The legend lives on. Sometimes all it takes is one stubborn bin to remind a community that you don't have to take nonsense from anyone, not even an HOA queen with a clipboard and a dream of trash domination. But hey, here's where I want to hear from you. Would you have fought back or just given in? Where's the line between keeping order and losing your mind over garbage? Drop your thoughts below, share your own crazy HOA stories, and tell me, did I go too far, or was this just poetic justice sealed in cement? Let's talk it out.